This is Kevin at Pope with Pope's Perspective, and it's update time. I just saw another film after I finished my top 10 favorite films of 2018. So we're going to update my list, and I am adding Bohemian Rhapsody. So the placement of this film is going to go, I'm going to put it at number 4. So it's going to go in between Love, Simon and Wreck-It Ralph 2. I'm sure many of you have already seen the film by now, so it's not so much a review, but a refresher. But it's my take on the film. You haven't got mine. And if you've watched my favorite films of 2018, which if you haven't watched that already, go and watch that so you know how this film fares with the other films. You'll see that I have very taste in films. There's all sorts of different films on that list. That's a little tangent. If you've watched that film, you'll know that Love, Simon was a very close film to me because I am bisexual. So Bohemian Rhapsody, you've got Freddie Mercury, and he was bisexual. So, of course, there was times in the film where I related a little bit to him too. It's like, yeah, I know what it feels like. Other times, I didn't, because his life was so different to mine. But I'm not doing this review to compare my life to his. But there was one moment I do want to point out. So maybe a little spoiler in the film, but not really a spoiler. In the film, when he tells Mary that he's bisexual, and then she corrects him, "You're gay," that was a moment that really, I felt that moment, because sometimes I feel that people question my sexuality. So I really felt that moment was stuck true. So, enough with the personal side from that. Let's talk about the rest of the film. Like Freddie Mercury, what over the bigger than life personality. I mean, this man was. I mean, I personally been familiar with Queen's music, mostly their bigger songs. We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions, and of course, Bohemian Rhapsody. I actually didn't realize that they wrote Another One Bites the Dust. I knew that song, but I didn't realize it was a Queen song. So they're definitely, I was familiar with the music of Queens, even if I didn't know all of their songs. And the camaraderie of Freddie Mercury and the rest of the band members, that's some of the best stuff in this film. Like seeing them create these songs and their process, and a lot of it was really unorthodox. They went out to a barn to record Bohemian Rhapsody. A barn. They had the recording studio in a barn. That's crazy. But you know what? Their style worked for them. And so you also have Freddie Mercury's life, and it has some ups and some downs. And then talking more about his relationship with Mary, I really found it really, I was moved by it. And it was really, I understand why, like, even though they didn't stay together, but they still were friends, and you're watching the film and you could tell that he still loves her. I mean, he talks about, it's like the song Love of My Life, and it's like, that's for you, Mary. And you believe it. You really believe it. And the performance by Ronnie Malek, I know I'm going to slaughter his name, but who plays Freddie Mercury, he really invested in this part, and I can see why he's getting awards show buzz and really picking up the awards for this show. He is just inhabiting this role. And so it was just, and the music scenes, the concert scenes were just, I wish I would have seen this film earlier and gone to see it in IMAX. But this was just, I really enjoyed this film. I'm going to shoehorn this as part of my top films of 2018. So I guess I've got 11 now. I'm not going to do this for every film, but this was so close to when I put together my top 10 films list that I'm like, I'm going to add Bohemian Rhapsody to the list. So Bohemian Rhapsody, part of my favorite films of 2018, and that's The Pope's Perspective.